Bonsoir. C'est Planet Glee une autre fois. Oh, hello. C'est Planet Glee une autre fois. Yes, that was a song by Ian Caporelli on guitar and me, voice and melody. And welcome to Planet Glee. We have an esteemed guest tonight, and I'm going to move into the shot better. Hello. Yes, we have someone who has used her eyes to look at many things around the world. Laura Kiniry, travel journalist, and there's her email at
Instagram.
Oh, your Instagram.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At Laura J. Kin.
Well, we have a lot to talk about, so I think I'm just going to show our guest right now. There she is.
Hi.
How do we say your last name again?
Kiniry.
Kiniry?
Yeah, Kiniry. My dad went by Kiniry for a lot of years at work, so people say it both ways, but...
Okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, thank you for being here. You've got a lot of things to tell us about your marvelous career. You know, I don't know, maybe you want to just give us a little background about how you came to San Francisco and how you got into your work first.
Okay, sure. Well, I moved to San Francisco in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
I came from New Jersey, and I kind of just wanted to get out of New Jersey for a little bit. Didn't think I'd be here 24 years later. But when I came here, I worked at a creperie. I lived the San Francisco dream. I had my roommates. And then I went back to school and decided that I wanted to be a writer. But after I finished college, I went traveling for 6 months and loved the travel so much that thought I should be a travel writer. And everybody thought I was crazy. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of money. I had money saved up from waiting tables. So I used that money to try and get a career going. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just pitched magazines. I went to meetups and things like that, and I saw a call for a New Jersey guidebook on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. So I applied for that. I got turned down because I had no professional writing experience. But then I was kind of, I thought, what else am I going to do? So I got turned down for that assignment 4 times before I told them I was going to track them down at a writers' conference. And, I said, I know that your vice president is going to be there. I really want this book. I was doing all these things to get it in the meantime. Mm-hmm. Please give me another shot. So they took me out to lunch, and I rewrote my book proposal, and I wrote my 550-page guidebook to New Jersey, which was how I got into travel writing.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
500 pages?
It was a labor of love.
On New Jersey.
On New Jersey. Believe it or not, there's a lot to say about New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a cool way to do it. It was kind of a backdoor way. And then I interned at Via Magazine, which is a AAA travel magazine here in the city.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just kind of started doing freelance. And I've been doing freelance ever since.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Because you've provided us with some articles from August that you've just recently done. So, okay, everybody, here at BAVAC we've got, I think, let's see here, let me put back on you, and maybe you can intro the first one.
Okay.
Oopsie, we heard that. Escape.
Oh, well,
there's one.
Okay, which one is this?
This is the Helsinki.
Okay, so this is an article, which is kind of a funny thing. I went to Helsinki for a long weekend to kind of come up with some story ideas. Mm-hmm. And I did some things. I went to some walking tours, and I went to some different places. But somebody mentioned this thing called Restaurant Week, which is a day, I think they do it 4 times a year now, or maybe twice a year, where anybody in the city can open a restaurant.
Oh, wait, someone's calling up.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hello.
That's okay.
Let's go back. All right.
So, anybody can open a restaurant on this particular day. And at first, it was kind of almost a flash mob of restaurants in the city. And so city planners didn't know what to do with it. But people got really, really creative, and there was one that was like a sushi restaurant that was in an abandoned home, and the people would give you different, I think you had different cards, and you would pick a card, and that card would tell you what kind of, and you could bid on the different sushi that you would get, which was a really, really cool thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll try and answer it again.
Okay.
Hello? You're on Planet Glee?
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Uh-oh.
Please check the number and dial again.
I like calls. Why is it doing that? Okay. Let's go back to a little bit about Helsinki, because we got a lot to cover. They call them pop-up restaurants?
Yeah, so they're pop-up restaurants, but they were just, I mean, there was somebody that was baking bread and dropping it from a basket from a third-floor window. And some people would do bartering,
Okay.
where you could pay with bartering. Other people would make a little bit of money. Other people just thought, like, there were plenty of people that thought, I'm not a chef or a cook in any way, but I kind of want to try this out.
Mm-hmm.
So it got people into these really unique ideas. You know,
Nice.
they'd start to kind of get really creative about things. And some of the places ended up becoming brick and mortar places. But I believe that it's since caught on in places like Montreal and throughout other places in Finland too. So it's kind of a cool thing. I don't think it's happened in the States because of all the legalities and regulations and everything.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was the coolest idea ever.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that article was published in the Smithsonian.
Yes.
Can I just ask how you pitched to the Smithsonian? How does that work?
Well, I can't remember how I started with them. I think what happened was I was going to Columbia, and they actually were having some sort of festival in D.C. that included Columbia. So they were looking for stories on Columbia. So I kind of snuck in that way.
The country Columbia.
The country Columbia.
You were there?
I was, yeah.
What were you doing there?
Well, I was in the city of Cali. So I did a little bit of salsa dancing, and I went to a sugar factory, and then I went to the Coffee Triangle. It was just a work trip to kind of see what the country had to offer and to see what that area of the country, which is a little bit less traveled than places like Medellin or Cartagena, have to offer. So it was really cool. It was an experience. It was one of my first abroad trips for work, so it was a really cool country to start off with.
Oh. And so how long ago was that?
That was in 2011.
Okay.
So I've been doing work, travel, writing, where I'm actually on the road for 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. All right. So, let's, I wonder who that was calling.
I don't know. Could be so many people.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This happens to be art and architecture.
Yes.
Okay. And this one is from the BBC.
Yes.
And this is also from August.
Yeah, this one just came out. It's for the BBC, and it's on a place called the Chimeric Sphere. And the Chimeric Sphere is an alternative parallel universe to our own world. It's a 3D work of storytelling that actually covers 140 countries. There's 140 installations. Are we going to try this again? Or should we?
Well, I'm dedicated to this call-in idea, so
Okay.
try it again. Hello, you're on Planet Glee.
Hey, I have a question for Laura.
Okay. Alright, I'll put the camera on Laura. What's your name?
My name is Jennifer.
Jennifer, can you turn down your
Yeah, I just turned down the TV.
Hey,
So I turned down
Jen. How's it going?
Hey, Laura.
Yeah, now that's better. say
Oh,
something?
can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, Laura.
Hey,
You
Jen.
look beautiful.
Aw,
Just wanted
thank
to tell you that.
you. That's so sweet.
I also have 2 questions, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
All right. So, number 1, would you ever come back to New Jersey and re-travel the state and update your book for the 2020 essay?
Do you want me to answer that, or do you want to ask the second one?
And second question, which countries around the world have you not seen yet that you would really love to see?
Okay. The New Jersey book, it was kind of a labor of love. It was my first big project, and I don't know if you remember, but when I did the first one, my nephews were just babies. My parents had 2 cars. It was really convenient to do that at the time. But when I did the revision, my parents went down to 1 car. The nephews were older. My dad was watching them, and it became more of a hardship. And then I kind of thought, I mean, I love it, and I think the book needs to be updated, but I think I need to make a little bit more money.
Yeah, well, this is why you go on a show like this and
That's right.
say, hey.
So password to people in New Jersey.
Invest in me, New Jersey.
That's right.
I'll make you look good. It wouldn't hurt.
Question. I really want to go to Vietnam. I've wanted to go there forever. Yeah. What were you going to say?
That's right. I remember. Go ahead.
Yes. So Vietnam. I would love to go to more places in Central America.
And so her second question was which countries you wanted to go to?
Yeah. So I was saying I'd like to do more, Jen. In Central America, I've never been to Costa Rica. I'd like to go to Nicaragua. And I'd love to do more of Eastern Europe, like Romania and Bulgaria and Serbia.
Now, do you speak any other languages?
Very embarrassingly, no. Okay. I'm learning Spanish, though.
Oh, good.
Just poquito.
Good. Because when you go to Central America, especially Nicaragua, you probably should.
I should know a little, definitely.
Yeah. There's a Viva Nicaragua Day coming up on the 29th of September.
Oh.
Yeah, I see the signs up in the mission.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I have a friend from Nicaragua. I'm going to ask her if she's going. Yeah, that's a cool place. I know people who have been there.
Okay.
I haven't been there. But Jen, thank you for calling. But it was something that I don't think that we had ready was to have people call in, and the board was going off the charts, and so I'm probably going to have to edit some of your call out later when we re-air the show. By the way, the show re-airs on Monday nights at 10:30 p.m. on Channel 29, okay? So that's when you can see it again on our channel, 29.sfc.tv. So I wanted to get to the last one that you shared, and this is the Malzfabrik in Berlin, where the parallel universe could be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll just show it since it's right there. Yeah, it's in the. It's not in the shot too well, but yeah, it's the brick building there. Laura, you were there this past month?
Yeah, I was there. Well, I was there in late June.
Okay.
And the article on the chimeric sphere, actually, it was due earlier, but I really wanted to go to the Malzfabrik and be at those places, so my editor gave me a little bit of extra time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you had to take some pictures there, too.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, good. So you bring a camera, too.
I bring my iPhone. A lot of my pictures... I did, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I got a better iPhone so that I could take better pictures, but a lot of my pictures are mostly research. I was really happy that BBC bought some of the photos because, it's a little bit more money, and it's I love taking pictures, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that here. So, let's see. Let's go to the third one, which is the Trabi.
The Trabi. Yes, the East German vehicle. That was considered one of the worst cars ever made.
I'm going to show it right now. It's a cutie. It looks like it comes in all sorts of colors, which is also very cool. Did you put the you came up with the title and everything too, right?
Atlas Obscura usually comes up with the titles for the stuff, but it was pretty much what I pitched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write in one?
No, actually I didn't. Are we gonna?
I'm not gonna answer this time because it's not set up right.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we can't answer. We have a phone issue, but thank you for calling.
Yeah, there's a technical problem here in the studio. We're not able to answer the calls because the volume is turned too far up, and whatever you've got on your end is coming out as noise, really bad for the ears for everybody. And then I have to edit it out, and then we have less of a show. We'll do 2 more minutes.
Okay, 2 more minutes. Let's do it. We'll talk over the phone ringing.
Yes. So, yeah. What? Let me see. What do you have next in coming up? What's going to be?
Well, I am going to Peru on Friday. I was there 6 years ago, so it's really nice to be able to go back. And we're going to Lima and Cusco and Machu Picchu, but this time I get to hike Machu Picchu. I don't know what I'm going to write about it. I'm just going, and then I'm going to see kind of who we meet and what we do, and then pitch stories once I get back.
Who do you go with?
On this particular trip, I'm going with some hotels are hosting us. So it always depends. I mean, sometimes I do solo trips. When I was in Germany, it was a solo trip. I was in the Galapagos, and that was solo. But this one is a trip with other journalists. So I think there's maybe 4 other journalists, and they're from all over the country or Canada. But you start to kind of run into the same ones. And so it's really kind of cool to be traveling with one in the Middle East and then come back and travel with them in Asia.
When are you going to the Middle East?
Well, I mean, I was in Dubai a while back, but no place else yet.
Yeah. For some reason, Dubai is very American friendly.
Yes.
Yeah, I know about that. Well, this is really cool. We only have like a few seconds. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and thanks to your friend for calling in. And
thanks, Jen.
Yeah, and yeah, it's only 22 minutes, so you have to come back, and we'll, when you've done some more traveling, and oh, you gotta say bye.
Oh. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, and thanks for watching Planet Glee. We're out. We're already out.